Guys, check out my new favorite channel. It is so good. Oh my god. Look at it.
Coming from the author of Soul Eater, Atsushi Ikubo, Fire Force has blazed its way onto the summer 2019 roster with an inextinguishable flame, climbing its way to the top, becoming one of the hottest shonen of the season, even rivaling Dr. Stone. To summarize, Fire Force is a manga series written and illustrated by Atsushi Ikubo, the creator of critically acclaimed anime and manga Soul Eater. It is published by Kodansha and is serialized in the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine since September 23rd, 2015. As of recording this, it is on its 159th chapter and 18th volume. An anime series adaptation has been developed by David Production, the studio behind JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, premiering on July 5th, 2019. To summarize the plot, spontaneous human combustion, a chaotic phenomenon that has plagued humanity for years, randomly transforming ordinary people into flaming, violent creatures known as Infernals. While Infernals make up the first generation accounts of human combustion, the second and third generations become known as pyrokinetics, people gifted with the ability to manipulate and control their flames whilst remaining human. To combat the infernal threat and discover the cause, Tokyo Armed Forces, Fire Defense Agency, and the Holy Church of Seoul produced their answer, the Special Fire Force. Third generation pyrokinetic Shinra Kusakabe, nicknamed the Devil's Footprint for his explosive ability to ignite his feet at will, becomes a member of the lively Special Fire Force Company 8, upholding the brigade's duty to extinguish the blazing infernals and lay their souls to rest. Shinra is determined to become a hero who will save the lives of those threatened by the flame terror. However, this is not the hero's games Shinra imagined. The Fire Force is a fractured mess of feuding brigades, abnormal infernal sightings and increasing all over Tokyo, and a shadowy group claiming to have the answers to the strange fire that caused the death of Shinra's family 12 years ago. Faced with many obstacles within and outside of the Fire Force, Shinra fights to uncover the truth behind the burning mysteries that have kept him in the dark for so long. You know, watching Fire Force for the first time, I did the awful mistake of watching the English dub. It kind of put me off immediately. It was a mistake as I missed out on a beautifully animated, moving story filled with awesome fights, beautiful visuals, and a touching, moving scene. Anime has gotten a bad rap as the action-packed cartoon genre. People often ignore the fact as a medium, anime houses some beautiful stories like A Silent Voice, Your Name, and most of Studio Ghibli's works. I remember the most moving story being Vinland Saga and how Thorfinn's character was handled. His story was heartbreaking, but ultimately a human story. The greatest thing a story can accomplish is to make the plot, the story, the characters as humanly as possible. We need to feel absorbed in the world, and if these characters were translated into our world, they would still be human. Fire Force accomplished that in a single episode. I remember watching episode 2 and talking with my editor about the scene, and yeah.
The flame is the soul's breath. The black smoke is the soul's release. Ashes thou wert and art. May thy soul return
to the great flame of fire.
Yeah. It didn't make me cry or anything, but it felt real. Their reactions, the difficulty in the decision, and most importantly, the silence. In stories, music is an element to convey emotion, but in life, it's the quietest moments that are the saddest. With all the shonen trying to compete with each other for the action and animation, they sacrifice these quiet moments for, oh my gosh, did that dude just break his arms? Oh, Sasuke Mountain fighting!
We're activated. Oh my gosh, Goku has a new transformation.
Fire Force had me hooked on that very scene instead. Often in the show, the theme of murder is repeated. These characters are brought up in a world where Infernals didn't exist. And they were once people, but they suffered a painful death, and it's their job to put them out of their misery. But is it still murder? If it is it justified? Is it their job? These questions come up and are constantly argued. Are the good guys good? This show, at the same time, with its beautiful visuals and animation, argues the real questions. Do we have a right to kill just anyone? Fire Force being made up by the creator of Soul Eater, the theme of death is often explored. And although the show has its flaws, and ultimately it's a moving anime, it juggles very mature themes and does it the best it can. But often with its beautiful visuals, there are issues with pacing, cutting shots to keep the viewer entertained as much as possible, can lead to awkward dialogue at times. Although it is an interesting world building often takes the backseat, and the issues of the secret of the Infernals, the corruption of Fire Force, and Shinra's brother are often forgotten. But I can see where the manga, it has room to improve, and hopefully with the right direction, it can rise to be the best shonen of the season or even the year. The manga is still carrying on strong, and there's a lot more to adapt. I'm really excited to see what David Production handles Fire Force in the future. I would hate for it to go to waste and, like its predecessor Soul Eater, have a really bad ending. I don't think the characters get enough time or dialogue to create sequent personalities, if that's the right word, other than their basic introduction. The dialogue doesn't help either, and interesting side characters are often pushed aside. Shinra's character, like most shonen protagonists, falls into the trap of the loudmouth dreamer who rises to the top with determination and skill. Not that I have a problem with that trope itself, it's birthed some truly beloved characters, like Naruto and Goku, but I was hoping that Shinra would be an exception. With the many strengths the anime has, its one fatal flaw is its characters. Among the many expectations it subverts, it falls to the curse of the shonen protagonist. Shinra is great and all, but I don't want him to be a carbon copy. The show itself and its themes keep me hooked and entertained. Shinra, I believe, must be explored more. He has potential to develop with the show and could be used as a tool to carry the show, like Senku and Dr. Stone. But yeah, basically he's a copy of Rin from Blue Exorcist and Naruto. There isn't a lot of room to develop him if he's constantly going to be compared as a devil, but oh wait, surprise, he's a hero! I don't think it's fair, as Soul Eater had some amazing characters. From the manga, a lot is cut out, and the anime is under some questionable direction at times. Fire Force isn't a bad anime, but there's still a lot of room to improve, and the manga has some great material to allow for a great story. With My Hero Academia, although it follows a lot of shonen cliches and tropes, it makes up with a great arc and Horikoshi's amazing character direction. Having a whole arc about a villain that somehow changes the whole story, staying, questioning hero society, the society in the manga itself. I think that Fire Force could learn a lot, and I was quite disappointed knowing the potential and delivery Soul Eater had. I really like the art though. Just like Dr. Stone, it's a real selling point often when a mangaka does both writing and art. Often one of the two is stained and the other is focused on more. The case with The Promised Leatherland's later art, although the story is getting amazing, I hate the art with a passion. Often at times, Soul Eater sacrificed the art for story, and Fire Force does the opposite. Although the Weeb boner is at its peak, I'm still a writer at heart, and I need to be engaged in other forms. Like most mangaka who make multiple works, you see their earlier influence in their current works. Sometimes they can feel the same but original or carbon copies, like Fairy Tail's Natsu and Eden Zero's Shiki. It's just Natsu gone emo, really. But Fire Force, with its flaws and all, managed to succeed to make me feel at home. With its own characters and world, you can see a lot of Soul Eater reference, like Shinra's smile looking exactly like Soul's. But it's still Shinra, you know? A lot can be forgiven when we see the amazing animation David Productions did. It did a great job with JoJo, but Fire Force is really its best work. Often in the manga, the black and white panels can't do the fight scenes justice, evidence from Demon Slayer, but David Productions excels here. When you look at the fire, you can feel the heat. If you stand in there, you know you'll burn. While other times you feel the power of Shinra's blast and the bass is turned to the maximum DP. Just my one thing, the bass is hitting harder than my grades. Personally, my animation boner rises every time I see Shinra fight. Like, damn, David. But honestly, David Productions has done a great job. Like, really. And I'm excited to see what they do with the show in the future. It has a lot of potential, and we could see some amazing fights compared to Todoroki versus Deku and Sasuke versus Naruto and so on and so forth, you know, compared to a lot of great shonen fights. I finally come to my verdict. With flaws and all, Fire Force is a very entertaining anime with a great manga behind it. If you love shonen and crave for your animation boners to bust the most glorious nut ever, this show's for you. Fire Force has room to improve, and with the right direction, can be regarded as one of the best shonen of all time. Although it seems sketchy now, I'm excited to see the future of Fire Force. You should watch it for yourself, and always remember, it's just my opinion. Form your own. Anime is a medium that allows for discussion and improvement over time. And personally, I give the show a 7 out of 10. It's an okay show, and with nice audience and pushing David's productions further, it could be better. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching. It means a lot that you made it to the end. Watch time these days pretty much means everything. But anyway, thanks. If you liked, please like, subscribe, and comment what you want next. It really helps out the channel. And remember to support the official release of the anime on Crunchyroll, and read the manga on Kodashi Online, links in description. It allows for the creators to continue their work and to improve over time for you and the audience. Also go check out my friend Luke's channel, Random Story Bros, that he runs with his friend Danito. They tell scary stories, so if you're into that, go check it out. Anyway, links will be in description. But thanks, and I know this is a short outro, but, you know, pretty busy. Anyway, thanks. Have a wonderful Weeb-filled day, evening, night, whatever time you're watching this, and carry on being degenerates. Bye.